D for decent.
Ah, yeah.
That's an A.
That's an A.
That's an A.
For sure. We used to love that spot.
F.
You know-
What?
Remember, their menu was full of typos.
Hmm.
F.
I mean, he shot someone dead in the street, so I mean, he's got it. He's got
What?
it. He's got
What?
gangster points. For me, it's an F2 because it's a lot of hype.
We wash our hands. We walk away from this.
No, I have to disown you.
Welcome to your last podcast, the last podcast in the game, but the first you should listen to. I'm your host, Colton Simpson, and with me this week, always in my corner, it's the amazing Grace Tatigian.
Hello, hello.
And fresh off a flight from the big land, it's Mr. Listen himself, Josh Vey.
What are you at?
And last but certainly not least, it's our resident audiophile, William Ham Clark. So it is your last podcast. We're a conversational podcast where every week each of us brings a topic of conversation to argue amongst ourselves and talk it out for your amusement. If you like that, be sure to subscribe to the podcast feed to never miss a new episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're feeling generous or have a couple of bucks to toss our way, you can always head on over to patreon.com/yourlastpodcast and help support the show. So with all that out of the way, I'm actually kicking things off this week, and I got a very serious topic. Over the last couple of weeks, I've seen these tiered lists kind of popping up on YouTube. So the first one that kind of really hit it big was from a channel called iDubbbz, and he did a fast food ranking. Then I saw somebody do the president's ranking, and then I saw somebody.
That was him too.
It was him, yeah, you're right. I saw somebody do like YouTube pranksters ranking. So anyways, there's been a tier list here for the last couple of weeks that people have been actually ranking everything. So I figured what would be fun is if we actually ranked our choices for the fast food list.
Boy.
We've wanted to talk about fast food ever since we started the show. We had to figure out a way where we could actually talk about it and just not go like, what's the best burger or what's the best pizza joint? So this is the most conclusive way to do it.
Scientific process.
It's a very scientific process here. We're going to rank them on the 6 Ps, which of course we've all taken into account, which is, the product, the promptness, because it's fast food, the price, the premises, the prosperity, which is, is it helping out mankind? How is, is it a prosperous venture?
Yes.
And then, of course, our passion. So with keeping those 6 Ps in mind, Josh, where do you want to start with this ranking?
Okay, so we're going to kick her off with Burger King. So let's review the King, right? Got to go in
All
with
right.
a banger. And, in terms of prosperity, I might get a little teary-eyed. So now we're talking about the Whopper.
Oh, my
Considering back home, she's closed now, and it's devastating.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, so where are we ranking Burger King, boys? First of all, what are we looking at for the product? We're going to examine the Whopper, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, the Whopper is where you got to be.
Yeah,
The Whopper is a pretty good burger.
So pointless to talk about anything else. Okay, so Grace, have you ever had a Whopper?
No.
Okay, but you've seen the joy on our faces when we're eating them,
Well,
though,
I mean,
correct?
Colton was over at my house the other day, and I always keep my Burger King coupons for him, so
Yeah,
I
I think-
understand the importance
I think
in your
they're
life.
over there on the counter.
They
tucked
are.
There you
away,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I might have. I know I definitely ate Burger King a handful of times as a kid, but I don't really have a frame of reference for it.
You
We
weren't
were
a big-
more McDonald's family.
You weren't a
when we were
fan of the
little.
Big Kids meal? Do you know?
I
the
don't
Big Kids
remember
meal?
it.
No?
No.
Okay, so what do you think, Ham? Where should we drop the King to? I'm thinking B. And the only reason why is because while the Whopper is beautiful, I mean, it's a glorious burger, there are competitors out there that are arguably better, but
Nah.
the price is right.
The price is good, and I'm going to put this out there because, as a vegetarian, I have to bring up the fact that I'm a vegetarian because, like, what's the point? I gotta tell you guys that I'm better than you. So, no,
Great.
the veggie burger there is just like the regular burger. Tastes like fucking charcoal. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And I think for me, it's an A in my heart, but it's
What is
it's
in your
probably
heart?
it's a B.
I think a B is probably a good spot to put it on the list, but also it can't be an A or an S tier anyways because you got the natural laxative of Burger King.
Yes.
You eat it, 10 minutes later, I don't even make it home half the time. So
That's because charcoal is a cleansing.
you're right.
It's detoxifying.
That's
Charbroil.
definitely
And
why.
And listen, I'm going to tell you something too. The last time that I was down to Burger King, See, back home, the burgers were always like the mayonnaise and the ketchup would come together into like a dripping sauce.
Mhm.
Whereas now they seem to have gone a bit dry,
Yeah.
which to me is a downer, right? I mean, you need that moisture to get that nice combination going, right? That little bit of like wetness.
All right.
So I think
Oh.
B tier.
B tier. So
Yeah.
just for our audio listeners, if you're not here and you don't see like the actual Photoshop document on screen, we're going to be ranking things from S, which is like superior, all the way grade school down to F. So S, A, B, C, D, E, and then F, of course, for absolute failure. So
Cool.
kind of starting off, I'll go over to, let's go with Dairy Queen. Because Dairy
Okay.
Queen, I mean, I'm a huge fan of ice cream. I love Dairy Queen for that. But their food
Is ass.
is not
It's-
very good.
It's like an E tier.
They're
maybe.
onion rings, though.
Really?
That's I
But
mean,
what are we reviewing? Are we going to pick them for their ice cream or for their food?
Well, I think you got to take it all into account. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't mention Burger King's breakfast because I don't think any of us have tried it. But
No.
when we get the
I actually
McDonald's,
like it.
what we mentioned in the breakfast, you got to take the whole menu into account. Dairy Queen, I agree. Ice cream, really good. I haven't had their onion rings. I don't know.
see, I don't really like their ice cream.
They're-
I'm really
oh,
not
no.
a fan, but I'm not a soft serve kind of person
Mhm.
anyway. So a Blizzard to me is just glorified soft serve.
So,
So for me, it's definitely lower than the Saving Grace is their onion rings. They have the best fast food onion
I mean,
rings.
I can agree, but I mean, it's a quick and dirty fix when you get a sugar craving, right? Like, I mean, you got her in D, but I think she deserves C by
C?
because
nah,
I think so.
Maybe.
I think
Is
so.
the ice cream alone good enough to keep it to a C? Like,
How
everything
often do we
else-
go?
Well, actually, Grace likes the onion rings too, so I don't know. Maybe.
Yes, let her go.
We'll put her in a
She
C.
deserves-
We'll put her in a C for now. You know, we might bump her down later, but all right, Grace, where should we go next?
Okay. I was really impressed at how many of these I had actually eaten before. Let's go with Subway.
Oh,
Subway
God.
is the way to my heart. I mean,
it
that
is.
is my absolute guilty pleasure. That is my favorite fast food. I don't eat it nearly as much now that I'm a little bit further at work from
Yeah.
a Subway. But I mean, to me, that's the best of the best.
What do you think? So what category are you putting that in?
Oh, to me,
Yeah, what do you propose?
To me, it's at bare minimum on a bad day a B.
So the stink alone drops it.
Yeah.
I know.
To it, like,
I know I'm
D
not going to
tier
get what
for
I
me.
want.
Yeah, if you can't eat in the restaurant without reeking like it for the rest of the day, and Ham used to work at Subway, he knows that smell. Like that gets in
The
your nostrils.
smell, and you don't want to know how some of that stuff comes in.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking too. They have this like faux face on, this mask that like, look how healthy it is.
Yeah, I know.
And then most of the sandwiches, if you actually compare like the caloric information to like
yeah.
a McDonald's or like a KFC, it's pretty comparable at
that
times.
eat fresh?
And
That's
a
fuck
lot
great.
of
That's
salt.
fuck great because man, go look at some of the lettuce that they had, especially in the one back in Goose Bay. I mean, it was brown. Lettuce is
Oh,
not
yeah.
supposed to be brown.
Yeah, I don't
What do
know.
you think? Want to compromise and throw her in C?
We'll put her in C, I think, for now. And the reason why is because I actually don't mind the subs at Subway, and I hate the food at Dairy Queen. And Subway also has the cookies, which, I mean, I can't allow those cookies to drop
So
to
C
D
for
right yet.
compromise.
C for compromise. All right, Ham, what should we do next?
We'll keep going with the sub train, and we'll
Oh,
go
God.
with Quiznos.
F.
This
F.
Now, for me, I actually like Quiznos a lot more.
Where are
than
you
Subway.
getting it? I think it's
There's
gone.
only one location
There's
here.
only one left. Yeah.
Do you ever go though? Like it's down there next to Toys R Us.
Yeah, every
Like,
once in a while, but yeah, it doesn't do well. The sandwiches are actually better than Subway.
I mean, they just recently closed the one in the Pearl too, which is another failure as far as I'm
So
concerned.
I'll tell you why it's not as good as Subway. The reason why is when you go in the Quiznos, they already have all the ingredients for the subs thrown up. Like you got to order like, I don't know, you order like a Philly cheesesteak and they already have like the mayo and the onions and everything already on there. So if you say the name of the sub, you got to start detracting things like it, like
Yeah,
you're
same
ordering
with,
from a McDonald's or something.
Yeah, same thing with Extreme Pita.
Yeah, which is just irritating. Also, they cut the ends off your sub, which I understand some people like, but they don't come out like circular. Like they cut the ends off the subs.
Really?
Yeah, so at the ends they're like squared off, which is a little bit strange. I understand you can measure it better for like 6 inches or 12 inches at that point, but that's also just being stingy. Because you keep that extra little inch on the end, you know, you might get like 6.5, 7
Yeah,
inches.
but if you ever measured a Subway sub, like
Frig off, Josh.
it's never 12
I
inches.
never said anything.
I
Never
think
12
just
inches.
purely based on how like none of us eat it. Ham, how many times do you have Quiznos in your life?
I used to eat it like every day when I.
So
was
you
going
eat
to
it less
school.
now than you did.
Yes, I do. But
So it's
there's-
failure. F for failure.
But I don't eat a lot of sandwiches in general. I eat Quiznos more than I eat Subway, though.
I'm thinking E then. I'll give you one
We'll
more.
throw it in E for now, I guess. Because there are, I think, a couple maybe might rank in
E
F.
for
so.
every now and then.
Yeah.
For
That's
an
true.
F, I'm going to go with Arby's. Have you guys ever had Arby's?
Only once
No.
in the Ottawa airport, I believe. And
How was it?
Ass.
Yeah. So Arby's, they have curly fries. They're pretty good. Everything else on the menu, garbage. America's roast beef, yes, sir. I think
F.
that deserves an F. It's not very good.
Yeah.
So
Excellent. Okay, now let's do one that's near and dear. Let's talk about A&W for a second.
Oh, my
Oh
son.
my God.
Dub.
This is
Dubs.
a
Dub
tale
is
of
a
heartbreak.
heartbreaker because while the food is good, I rarely ever crave it. But every now and again, I get this strong, salty craving.
When I do eat it, it's so good.
Yeah, so like the Papa
Oh.
Burger or something, right? I'm Jones for that shit.
Mhm.
And when I have it, it's so good. So like, it's not a C to me. It's up there with Burger King. And I mean, I had an A&W ice cream today, and it was glorious.
Yeah, but in order to buy something from A&W, you got to mortgage your home. Like those chubby chicken, those chubby chicken combos, like $14 for
I
one.
know.
But it is
I know.
worth it. It is
No,
worth
it's
it.
not.
I know what you're
Okay,
talking
all
about,
right.
Josh. Like, I don't eat fast food burgers at all. But back when I was in university, like once a semester, I would get a craving for a fast food burger, and I'd walk down to Churchill Square and I would get myself A&W teen burger. But I just got food poisoning at least 2, maybe 3 times in a row. Now, mind you, that's over the course of like a year and a half, but still.
You never built up a tolerance.
And I just,
That
I can't
sounds like a
do it
you problem.
anymore. I can't do it.
Well, for me, it's a B in terms of quality, but I think I might have to drop her down by at least 1 into the C category because of the price. Because Colton's right. It is a fucking fortune to go and get Dub. You're not getting it or anything less than $16 on a good day.
It's a fortune, and it's not like a Five Guys where you're spending $16, $17 for something that's quality. And also, that kind of irritates me is they got this really good seasoning salt, and you ask them to like make sure it's on the onion rings because you need the seasoning salt on there. They look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
You get the onion rings, and there's like a little sprinkling on there, and then they just suck. You need the seasoning salt.
Yeah. You know what?
So-
Drop her down in D actually
I agree.
because she's worse now than she
And you
ever
know
was
what?
years ago.
The ice cream. A lot of people back home in Goose Bay, they think that ice cream is everywhere. That's just a Goose Bay thing. The A&Ws out here do not have that soft serve.
It's delicious too.
If that was like a nationwide thing, definitely C tier, but not out here.
That's right.
All right. I don't know if any of us have eaten at a Mr.
I
Souvlaki.
have.
Oh, all right. My
mediocre.
my memories of Mr. Souvlaki is I have a friend in Toronto and he ate it like when I think we were there like last time and he liked it. And I was like, I've never seen anybody eat at this place.
When it first opened in the Avalon Mall,
Okay.
I went, and mostly because they had tzatziki and fries, and I just thought, I'm not really a fry person, but I figured I'd try that out, and I mean, it was fine.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So,
F for fine.
fine, Ham. What is it? C or D? What do you think? What do you think?
It's a D. It's barely
Yeah, I think
passable.
C is charitable.
We're putting that down with A&W was better than that.
That's true.
All right.
All right, so put her in D and A&W goes up to C.
I feel like A&W is a C.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Big-
That
Big,
ice cream
uh,
alone gets her up into a C.
Oh my lord. All right.
All
Here
right.
we go. Where should we go next? Let's go. Smokes poutine. I don't know how you guys feel about smokes poutine.
It's
I
a
like
D
it.
for me.
Oh my god.
Because and you know why? They go too nuts with their poutines. I'm a simple poutine kind of guy,
Even their
like
simple poutine is
just
good though.
man, Costco's is just as good in my opinion, and
Right.
it's like a quarter of the price.
yeah, I was gonna say you can definitely get 4 poutines
So
at Costco.
for me, smokes is more of a trendy thing. It's a D for me.
Oh no,
I-
I can't allow it to go down to a
I'm
D.
not a poutine person, but the fact that it's an Ontario chain for like a
Oh my
classic Quebec food
Give
just
it
kind
up.
of rubs me the wrong way. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you had it?
I think I've
Yeah?
had
Okay.
it. I have
All right.
had it actually, but I mean, I'm not a poutine person. So
Oh my god. All right, for me it would definitely be a B, but you know,
for,
if you guys
for me, it's
C.
more of a C, but
all right, well,
So
C
for
is filling up
compromise.
fast.
C, yeah. Oh,
We're gonna have to get
no.
more.
Okay, let's
ruthless
do the
guys.
Colonel now. Come on, let's get the
All
Colonel
right.
going.
Now this is heartbreaking because I used to love the Colonel. KFC used to be a great spot. I'd go
Twisters.
to Twisters all the time, the poutine all the time.
All right.
But over the years, they've really like gone down the shitter. Like
So I'll tell you where they fucked up for me. And this is why I'm going to probably recommend E for them. The reason why is because they had something called crispy strips at one point, which were the best chicken fingers you could ever have. There were a fortune, I think 9 of them. was like $18. But you get those and the honey mustard sauce,
That's
right?
better than A&W.
and they were delicious. But then they got done away with them, and they brought in these welfare little small pieces, and they changed their honey mustard sauce, which pissed me off. So E.
I'm completely fine with E for that because I'm just so pissed off. I haven't gone to KFC in, I don't know, a long time.
And we'll come back to something else that contributed later to their ranking in E.
I feel like they shouldn't be like
S for
below
spoiler.
They shouldn't be below Mr. Slovaki. We have to bump it up to
Well,
There we go. D. I mean, none of us have had Mr. Souvlaki. Really
So,
been great.
Yeah, put Mr. Slovaki in E for Explorer. Because I've never even had that shit, so it doesn't deserve to be up there.
All right.
There you go.
Perfect.
Just downgrading stuff.
New York fries. I'm pretty sure we've all had that before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every
It's-
once in a while, I'll get a craving for
okay.
New York
It's
fries.
decent.
D for decent. Agreed.
All right. Literally today for this show, Ham and I did an exploratory venture to go to Mustang Sally's because I think this Grace really likes this
I
spot.
like Mustang Sally's. I like any place where, well, I mean, if it's going to be fast food, I want to go somewhere that's not a burger and not heavily fried foods. I really don't enjoy
What are
fried
you
foods.
looking for?
Sandwiches, salads, something light. Typically, you can get burritos, and I typically get the quesadilla. I recommended you get the burrito
I did,
because
and that's what I
I'm
got,
not
yeah.
going to recommend a cheese-filled thing for
me,
you.
me
so
getting a quesadilla.
Okay, so cut down on the suspense. What do we got?
yeah. I think it's a solid B. Particularly at Mun, the Mun deal is you get your
it
your
is good
food,
value,
You
I
get
agree, yeah.
your side, you get your drink for something like $7.
$7.
It's a deal.
No, the value proposition is great, and I appreciate it being in Mun.
Yes.
But for me, it's definitely a D. It's
Really?
It's like
You can get spaghetti inside tacos. What's not to love?
You don't want that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
that's,
you
no,
do.
you
the,
don't.
The thing is, it's to me, it's like a stoned teenager's making your food, and with the staff there, that's pretty much what you're getting.
Oh, I like the staff at the
Oh,
UC.
no, they're
A bunch of them are
lovely.
really enthusiastic, and I just love that.
Okay, so D. D, I guess.
Oh,
See,
that's
there are
heartbreaking.
things I like about Mustang Sally's, though. I did like the industrial look, which, the premises
It's
looks pretty
cute.
cool. They were playing Fall Out Boy the entire time, which at first I liked, and then I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of Fall Out Boy.
F
But
for
yeah,
Fallout.
but in terms of the food, it's worse than Casada for sure. It was slightly better than burritos.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, I didn't finish my burrito. I made it 2/3 of the way through, and I was just like,
Really?
so it was really disappointing. D for
Okay.
disappointing.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
You feel passionate about it, Grace.
Okay,
You can put
all
it
right,
at a
all
C,
I
but
do.
All right, so
all right. Well, we'll put it at a C because I don't know.
what are you doing with that stuff? Okay, yeah.
I'm
here you go.
just gonna squeeze in
Okay,
because I think we
well,
got a lot of
let-
mediocrity
getting
left.
cozy.
Let's talk about one that's not going in the C category. Chesses. Let's talk about chesses.
Mm.
What are our thoughts on chesses?
I used to feel so strongly about chesses, but the last couple of times I've had it hasn't been the same either. And
Really?
also, the
Yeah.
Ken Mount Road location, they got rid of the desserts. You can't go there and get like coconut cream
Coconut
pie.
cream pie.
No, you can only get it
That's
from
fucking true, and you can't get snowballs either,
Yeah,
which pissed me off.
You can only get it from the freshwater location now.
So it's a.
My
probably
God, is
like
it a D?
It's a D.
Are we
now.
going to put chesses in a D?
I think D is charitable.
Yeah, it's like
Oh
all I
God,
can.
I can't. I think I'd go with a C again. C for chesses. But
No,
Yes.
I can't eat anything
No,
there.
she's
so
a
I'll go like
local
D.
Newfoundland company. We
No.
can't devastate her.
you can eat things there. You've had onion rings many a
we
time.
can't-
They're not
Onion
that
rings are
great.
terrible.
They're not that great.
Oh my God, guys! But
They're
the
a D-
two-piece
it's a
fish and
D.
chips, dressing and gravy.
No, it's a D.
There is no way that
'Cause
Chesses is
one,
better than
we're
New York
missing-
fries.
we're missing-
But just think, okay, let's make an argument. Look at the premises. My favorite one is over there on Torbay Road. They got the wood stove in, fires
It's
in.
garbage.
It's right,
It's
nice.
garbage.
I'm thinking the one on Kenmount
do you
Road
mean
where
it's
the
garbage?
ceiling's always
Chesses
leaking.
is garbage.
Oh my
Damn,
If
you
we're
don't
talk-
eat fish.
If we're yeah, if I ate fish, I still wouldn't eat there because I'm not gonna eat crappy cod with mediocre batter.
So
it's
we got
delicious.
to come hard on it. Is a for Newfoundland. It is a Newfoundland restaurant. Prosperity.
Yes.
There's many locations. Where else can you get fish and chips like at a fast food restaurant around here? Like you can't really do that.
Well, none of the other ones of my knowledge have managed to have the same success as Chesses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dick's on Bell Island is really good, but that's all. It hasn't made it off Bell
Honestly,
Island,
like
right?
back in the day, Chesses for me would have been like an A. I used to eat that shit almost every
I
week.
know.
And now I go like months and months without having it. So it's definitely a lot worse. I just don't know if I could put it to a D.
No,
it's
it's,
a
a
D,
sin.
and here's why: we have we have a much better local business that's not
Right.
on here.
This is what we'll do.
Mary Brown's.
It
Well,
is on here.
it
It's
is.
just not on here yet.
We haven't.
What?
We haven't got
Yes.
to that one yet, Ham.
She's down there. Don't worry about it.
Well,
She'll
I guess
be
we
on
got
the list.
I guess we got to talk about her now.
All right. Let's
So
let's
Mary
bring it back.
Brown's S. Mary Brown's S.
Perfect.
Mary
Perfect.
Brown's is an S because it devastates every Kentucky Fried it ever goes to. Their Big Marys are consistent while they are expensive. They are delicious.
If they could bring consistency with the Big Mary Monday, where it's actually every Monday, I'd be more inclined to agree. But there's a lot of things with Mary Brown's that are just garbage. I don't like their tater poutines. I know most
Neither do
people
I.
They're deadly, my son
Neither
loves
do
them.
I, to be honest with you. But I love their taters,
What
which
about,
is
like,
a solid
What about like the
foundation.
premises, like Mary Brown's? Like they're not nice restaurants.
They're
You don't-
beautiful now.
Trash.
They're beautiful
That's how
now.
I want
Where?
it.
They've done quite an effort
Well,
in
they did
order
do-
to
They did give him a facelift.
look at the one down on Freshwater Road. I mean, that one is gorgeous. The one down in Manuel's beautiful in there. I mean, and is right next to Tweed. For some people, that's important. So
That's a
prime
good combo.
location.
Good combo.
So you know what I mean? Mary Brown's is S. Listen, it's a franchise that started here in St. John's, and now it's down in the States. It's shutting down every Kentucky Fried that it opens up next to. So I think it is the ring dinger in its little corner. It's dominating the chicken.
But do you honestly like ever
franchise.
crave Mary Brown's?
Yes.
Right? There's some on here that we actually go to every week.
But I do crave that. Like that, I'm telling you right now, there's the Mary Brown's in a brown paper bag, driving home with it. That smell is intoxicating. Nothing else gets me going like that on the way home.
I don't think I've ever eaten Mary Brown's. I think I've eaten like someone like a
Have you had
tater,
tater?
once or
Yeah.
something, but I don't think I've ever purchased
Now,
anything.
there
You were
is
at
one
Mary Brown's
caveat.
One time. I definitely remember you at Mary Brown's.
When it's not hot,
Did I buy it?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And when it's not hot, but I mean that goes for
That
almost
goes for
everything on the list.
yeah.
My vote is for S. What's your vote, Ham?
I think it's an S tier
Oh my
because
God.
Excellent. What do you think, Grace?
I mean, I can't really judge it. I think I've had their taters maybe a handful of times, and I did not enjoy them. But I'm thinking of the cranberry that you were just
Oh
so
my
in
God.
love with.
S.
All right, we'll
S.
stay with an S. We'll stay with an S. That is a great point. I mean,
Exactly.
they bring that back. Definitely an S, but you're right. The cranberry.
God.
All right, we're leaving Jess straggle in the middle.
I
I
think
think
it's
so.
I think it's a D plus.
Oh yeah, that's how that would
Yeah.
work. Yeah. All right, we'll leave her in the middle.
No,
Yeah.
or C minus.
Or C
Or
minus,
C
yeah.
minus, and
All
I
right.
think that's charitable. For me, if I was ranking it all by myself, it would be below an F.
Okay,
but-
well, if she's on the line,
All right.
I want it to be known as a C minus, not a D plus.
okay.
All right, let's get
Fair.
a couple of these quickly out of the way. Taco Bell. Any of us care about Taco Bell?
D for Taco Bell. I don't think it's
Have
that
you
great.
actually had Taco Bell ham?
I wouldn't be able to say.
All right. Well, this is
Nothing looks less appealing. They pump their meat out of like a
well, it's not,
plunger
it's not
thing.
actually meat, and
Well,
I also
no.
can't eat cheese, or I don't like cheese. So for me, it's
Presentation's
definitely an F.
horrible.
Yeah, I
too.
think it's an F.
I mean, the price really good, but I mean, no,
but because
get
it's
out
not
of here.
food.
no, get out of here. All right, Popeyes. That used to be just down the road from where I lived in Toronto. I used to, I lived there for a full year. I think I had it 3 times. Not a fan of
I
Popeyes.
think D. I think D for me because I had it once in TO and it was delicious. Loved it.
Really?
And then next time I went back, it was awful. And then I had it again
So it's
and
inconsistent.
it was excellent. So I don't know where to put it. It's very inconsistent. So my vote is for like a D.
All right, I'll put D because I mean I've literally never had Mr. Souvlaki, and that's an E, and I've only had Quiznos once. So all right, Old Town Pizza. I threw this in here because folks over to Grace's, folks over to Grace's love it.
It's popular over at my house.
Uh,
I'm fine with it. Their crusts are nice because they flavor their crusts.
Mm.
But I mean, overall, I don't feel particularly strongly one way
Oh,
or another
okay.
over.
Well, I
Old
wouldn't
Town.
put it in an F, but I'd put it in like an E.
I feel like it's a strongly an F. 'cause
All right.
Oh, really?
It's literally the worst pizza I've ever had.
Worse
Excellent.
than Domino's?
It's worse
All
than
right.
Domino's.
No way.
Domino's-
No way. To
Domino's-
me, Domino's is an F.
Domino's
I don't
is like
think
an
so
E.
though, Grace. I don't
Oh.
think it is because there's something that you can. The most basic pizza on there is not that bad, even though it's not that good, and the price isn't that good. But I'd say like D. That's my vote for
Their
Domino's. D
their
for Domino's.
crust tastes like cardboard, and their sauce is just like it's like grainy. Do you ever notice that? You kind of go,
See,
It's
I
very-
haven't
it is
had it in
very
a long
pasty.
time. Is the issue?
Yeah.
I haven't
Pasty,
had Domino's in probably about 3 or 4 years,
But-
so it's been a long time.
you're better for it.
Old Town's crust barely holds up. All their toppings are like disgusting.
You can get feta there.
Yeah, but
We're
you can get
moved on
feta
to
at
Domino's.
Domino's.
F for feta. It's down there already. Domino's.
Domino's doesn't
D
deserve
or
a D. E.
You want to go E?
E.
All right.
I think
but
I
E is-
actually eat it like a fair amount, but it's an E.
All right. What about Pizza Gut? We used to love that spot.
F.
know-
What?
No, that's
no,
a D.
it can't be an F. They
The
gotta be
price
like a
on
D
that
or
is-
an E.
Listen, Richard Manners would stop hanging out with me if I didn't put it in at least a D
I
category.
feel like kind of a D as
Yeah.
well. The only thing I'm having trouble with this D category now is I do like KFC a lot better than like
Water.
Popeyes, but
and Pizza Hut for that
and
matter.
Pizza Hut. But I mean,
But the
Promote her to a
flaws-
C.
For me, Pizza Hut is very nostalgic. Do you remember their ice
Yeah.
cream bar that they used to have?
no, I don't. because
Okay, maybe
it-
that wasn't everywhere, but
No.
back home, you could get at the end, part of the kids' meal or whatever it was, you could get an all-you-could-eat ice cream, and you get this bowl, and you go and you fill it up soft serve with as much soft serve as you can cram in there, and then they had, well, probably about 10, but it felt like millions of toppings
what?
that you could
What's
put
this
on.
for?
This
Pizza
is at
Hut.
Pizza Hut. I remember they had the Cinnaparts, like the little cinnamon things. I
Mhm.
used to love those.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Maybe
I also
I'll
had a
bump it to
fair
C.
few,
I don't know.
Put her to C, yeah.
birthday parties at Pizza Hut back in the day.
Okay, what else? What else we got? Let's talk about let's see. Let's talk about Tim's. Let's talk about
All right.
Tim's. Okay, so Tim's for me is a solid A.
Mm.
And the reason why
Oh.
Tim's is a solid A for
No.
me is because overall, I think it's a really strong brand. It's been losing some traction, but it seems like it's sort of on the up and up rebound. They are so well diversified in terms of their locations now. They're everywhere.
Okay.
They're on every corner. And by and large, I mean, you guys don't think the same way about their tea and their beverages that I do, but by and large,
I'm
they
fine
are,
with them.
they are relatively consistent, and they are trying to compete with McDonald's in terms of the reward card system, which has gotten better since it came out. They were dropping the ball a little bit in terms of keeping track, but it's better. I go there every day. I love it. I think it's great. I grew up with it. It's an A.
For me, it's a B. It's a B for sure. I actually like their pastries and stuff, but like they don't change them out enough. And their beverages, like I don't give a shit about what coffee I'm drinking because I just
What about the
want
food,
the
Josh?
fix.
What about the food?
I
Do
think
you
their
actually
food is
ever,
bad.
Do you ever actually eat the
The
food? Is
Chipotle chicken wrap is excellent. I love it. It's great. It's quick. It's cheap. It's like $4.99
I
for a
think the
wrap.
value proposition.
And the location, boys. I mean, geez, a great spot to sit down.
I agree with
Have
that.
the yarn.
The location is strong. I mean, they're everywhere. And I actually do like their like peanut butter cookies or some of
Yes.
their donuts and stuff. But
Chocolate chip muffin, delicious.
But the thing is, you and I do eat a lot of fast food. We haven't tried like their crispy chicken things. We haven't tried their like taters or their fries or anything. Like, we haven't even bothered.
ate their
You know?
taters, really mediocre, but they're still a B to me.
I liked those chili cheese wedges that they had there for a while. I don't know if they still got them, but they were good.
I think it's a solid B for now.
Okay,
Plus,
well,
like
we'll
it's
see.
it's with
We'll
its
see.
its brother Burger
see.
King. So
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that hurt a bit. But anyways, let's move on. Move on before I leave.
All right, shitty spot, Greco. Where does this go?
F. I
I
hate it. It's garbage.
I go E.
I go E because it goes over Old Town for
Now
me.
put an L in front of that, and we're almost up into the A tier.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. if that was El Greco, completely different ball game. All right, stick with pizza. Pizza Light. Where are we going?
F
B.
F.
B. And the reason why is because the Pizza Delight garlic fingers are excellent.
So I
That-
think this is
okay.
contentious, anyways, because I don't even know if it's actually fast food for
And-
Pizza Light.
and the-
I put it on there because
Well,
you're
it's not-
passionate.
Well, it's
but-
not in Goose Bay. That's for friggin' well.
Well, that's
sure.
what I'm
But-
saying.
But out here, I do think they are quicker, and their
Are they?
buffets out here are consistent. You can go in and for $12, you can go and have a feed of just garlic fingers, which are great. They are good, and I crave those garlic fingers. They are unique.
Okay, so I'm gonna chime in on this. Their garlic fingers are S tier to me,
Yeah.
but as a whole, they're like below an F. They're below an F. They're terrible.
What?
How can you go? You can't. Damn, that doesn't even
That's
make sense.
there's one thing.
The law of averages would at
They
least
should
bring it
end
up
up
to
in
like
a C for sure.
Yeah.
No, but we have too much in C, and
That's not a reason. We still got some space.
and
I'll
I
go over
actually
here.
I actually like most of those places
Okay,
more. Than
I'd be
Pizza
I'd be
Delight.
willing to compromise to a C position.
And
for
I
Pizza
always
D.
feel like I'm gonna get stabbed when I'm at a Pizza Delight because
Well, the one on Kenmount Road, I kind of agree. That's a real sketchy spot. I mean, I stepped on a syringe leaving it like in the alleyway one time.
It enhances the experience.
I think it's less than a C for me. But like,
have you had Pizza Delight, Grace? What do you feel like?
I've probably had Pizza Delight.
All right.
I almost certainly I've had Pizza Delight. I remember leaving a Pizza Delight with you once.
Okay. Hasn't left a strong impression.
Yeah, I don't really
It's good
strongly
enough.
remember. Oh, I remember. No, I have been because I remember their menu was full of typos. F.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
for typos.
It's embarrassing when
All
you
right,
go to
so
places
Josh,
there's
where would you put
typos.
this? You said B?
I like
put
B.
it in C, and then we
Okay.
got two people that would say
C,
F.
how about B minus? Make me happy. Come on. Elevator up to the B minus
No.
position.
No.
I think we're stuck at a C for now.
God, this is
All right, where are we going next, guys? Pick something.
Chick-fil-A.
Ah, yeah.
That's an A.
That's an A
That's an A.
for sure.
Never eaten it.
Any fighting? Just A, perfect.
Yeah, it's excellent.
When they order, they're trained to look you dead in the eye and they smile at you and they make you feel
Oh yeah,
welcome.
this is the
That's
one where like
terrifying.
the
That hickory
employees are supposed
mustard?
to be really nice.
Yeah,
eh?
But-
the sauce there is amazing. In terms of eating at fast food joints in New York, they were actually like really good to sit down and like welcoming, locked bathrooms, like charging stations for phones and shit. Really good spot.
Yeah, it was.
But they hate the gays.
They do hate the gays, but
Oh, that is that restaurant.
But this place is so good that when I was in line for Hamilton, there was a gay guy sitting next to me and he's like, you know what? I hate Chick-fil-A and what they stand for, but damn, do I ever love that chicken. And he went and got Chick-fil-A literally when he was
There you
waiting in
go.
line with me.
There you go. So
you know,
politics
he was a gay
aside,
dude and
it's
he
an
still
A.
was like, you know what? The chicken's so good that I'm going to have to go for it. So
And wasn't it like it was the owner, right?
yeah,
Who
it was
was
the owner of
really
the franchise.
negative?
Yeah, I think he was like a Mormon or something. He was,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, boys. So, McDonald's.
For
A.
A.
For me,
A.
For me,
A
they're
boy.
A because just how successful they are. But like, I really don't like McDonald's a whole lot.
I'll allow it only because I had my first grade birthday party in their party room downstairs.
Oh my
Just
God.
think
It's the
about
only reason I'll allow it. 'cause
think
it's
about the
garbage.
brilliance behind that company.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the Big Mac and their fries, which are like rectangular crack cocaine, if we want to talk about like engineering, the spoons
For the
the
McFlurries.
McFlurries are actually
Genius.
designed with the square end to be the blender.
And what I appreciate,
Beautiful.
What I appreciate is they don't half-ass anything. Like when they wanted to go into smoothies, they like literally grew like full. I don't know if it's farms of strawberries, but they like literally grew all of their own fruit to put into their smoothies. Like they don't half-ass the things.
Only ones that have not been bought by Yum Brands. That's as well. They
Yeah.
have not been bought by Yum Brands. They've resisted Yum Brands.
And the other couple of videos I watched said this, and I agree. Like if you go into a McDonald's and you throw a dart at the menu, you're probably gonna get something that's half decent. It might not be the best thing there, but it's refined to such a point now that like they cut out a lot of like the shit on the menu. So A.
A boy. Okay.
Harvey's.
Oh,
F.
E.
You got F ham?
F.
It's a
like,
good burger.
It is a good burger, but like they're slow and
Pretty sure I've only eaten at Harvey's once. And I ordered a veggie burger just cuz, and it wasn't a veggie burger, it was just a burger with vegetables on it. That was a little concerning.
What about Thai Express, boys?
S
A.
tier.
You think that's
S
S tier?
It's
I'd
beautiful.
say
Okay,
A.
I was
I'd
gonna
say
say
A.
A just because I didn't think anyone would go S with me, but yeah, I think S.
So
Really?
Thai Express is one of those that I crave every single week. There's only one location here that they really need to get on that.
Yeah, that's a downer.
Yeah, the only issue is they're a little bit inconsistent for me. Like sometimes I get it and they're like, this is the best pad Thai ever had, and then sometimes you get it and it's like it's missing a lot of sauce or something, right?
That's because they have a lot of staff turnover because of how busy they are.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh, I
flat
believe
out. I
it.
mean, you go to the mall. If we were going for just the pure busiest spot, I think Thai Express would definitely be S
Yeah.
tier out of all these. Like it is packed.
But in terms of for those reasons you said, I think A. I like the stuff, but I don't think it's anything special.
For
I
me,
love
it's
their
definitely an
soup.
S tier.
Well,
Like
we
if
got
I
two
have
S's,
a really
I'm
bad day, I just want that
agree
Thai
with
soup.
Damn, I'm at an A as well. What we'll do is we'll
A
put her in the
plus.
middle.
A plus. There you
plus,
go.
right in the middle.
Okay, now if we want to talk S tier,
Yes.
Little Caesars.
Oh my
I
God.
don't
is
think
S tier.
No, I don't think so.
Bang for
I
your
would
buck ham.
bang for your buck, but the pizza is like it's not
Amazing.
that great. It's sufficiently mediocre. It's like
Not mediocre. It is good.
hey,
It is good pizza for
pretty
its
good.
price. You know, it is $6.89 for a pepperoni hot and ready. And on the scale of the pizza scale, it'd at least get a 7. I mean,
But-
that's $1 per point. There's not many places on here that's doing that. That's really good value.
What do you think?
But I don't think it's an S. I think it's up there with Thai Express.
I agree.
Okay, so are we saying A plus again?
It's an A plus.
A+.
A plus?
All
It
right.
straddles
I mean,
the line.
I argue S, but I'll come down to an A plus.
I'd put A as well, just because they've done disastrous effects to my waistline over the last couple of months. That hot and ready combo, and then like the $4 cinnamon parts.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, that's like double what you should eat every day. But I mean, it's just dirt cheap.
I love
so-
those the cheese bread things, the ICBs or whatever they're called, or ICMs. Whatever
Also,
they're
you
called.
can't eat in there. You have to then eat it in your car.
Good point.
Like
That's a good point.
with shame, and you're just there like.
No, you bring it back with your buddy and watch a movie and eat in shame. That's what you do.
But yeah, just the fact that they don't have seating. I mean, seating would make it S tier for sure. You know, if you could actually sit in there,
True.
like a Grecoville or something like that. But all right, cultures. I mean,
I love
F.
cultures.
For me, it's an F too because it's a lot of hype.
what a shock!
It's a lot of hype. The tempeh is disgusting because they don't do
Tempeh
anything
is
besides
not A plus.
all they do is defrost it. Their staff looks miserable.
They do.
They're never up front ever, and it's expensive as hell for no reason.
Now, cultures has changed a lot. So back in my
I
day,
think D for
cultures was
defeat.
cultures was totally different, and I think the quality of food was better. But they have more variety now, except for salads. They have way less salads now. You used to be able to go and there was easily a dozen salads to
Okay,
choose
but
from.
are they refining the menu, or are they taking away good items? Because if they're taking away good items, that's not like
I
McDonald's
don't
refining
know.
it. You know,
Yeah, I don't know. It's changed so much.
where would have you put it, Grace?
For me, definitely a B.
Okay, and Ham says F.
So meet in the middle for D.
D.
Okay.
D for disappointment.
Well, what
It's-
about a D plus or a C minus?
Yeah, I'll give her a D plus. Yes.
You don't feel that passionately about it being garbage, do you?
I don't know. He went quite the little monologue there.
I mean,
It's-
Taco Bell. Like literally, you eat that, you're gonna shit yourself.
Oh yeah.
Like Arby's, I ate once and I hated it.
To me, it's more of a solid E.
Okay, so
All right,
then I
that's
guess
a good spot where it
that's-
is.
All
Then
right.
Shake Shack. I think Josh and I are maybe the only two that ate there.
Yeah. I haven't
Shake
eaten
Shack.
them.
There was nothing that great about Shake Shack, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan. I would put it at a D.
D.
D. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. We had it twice, I
Are
think.
they the one with like the peanut butter sauce?
Yeah,
'Cause
they're the
Yeah.
one that like people love. Like if you're from New York, they say like the best burger is Shake Shack. It's the one like in the US, it's kind of like the rivalry between In-N-Out on the
Mhm.
West Coast and then East Coast
Yeah.
for Shake Shack. But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of it either. I'm just looking at the other burgers. I think they make a comparable burger to like a Burger King though. The burger was fine.
But it was expensive.
It is really expensive.
and I would have preferred a Whopper, really, to be honest with you.
I'd put it C.
You got neither of you guys really liked it that much though, so I
Oh,
feel like you
all
should
right.
dump it
I-
down to
I
a
think
D.
so too.
Yeah, I don't
agree.
feel passionate about it. You're right. I'm not going to fight for it.
Okay, Casada.
You guys are always
That's
getting
S.
casada.
That's an S for me.
For me, it's not better than Thai Express for me, but it is my favorite burrito spot, hands down.
Yeah, we all love it.
Once again, I'd put it firmly in the A category, but see, I reserve S for very special things. Like when I was composing this, I was like, I don't know if there is an S for me. I wouldn't put Mary Brown's in the S. Like my closest S is like, I would have gave it probably to McDonald's, and only just because it's been around for so long. Like it's just, and the fact that we had like 15, 16, 17 years of wanting to go to McDonald's, like growing up, and we just didn't
Sure.
have it. So I'd feel,
I
I mean, that is one I crave every week. So it
I think
deserves
it's
to be
an
up there
S.
with Thai Express.
I do think it's an S. I really do. And the reason why
It
is
hasn't-
because
it's inconsistent though. The one up here on Kelsey Drive,
but the
is-
one on Hebron Way has never let me down.
I know, but the and it was bad the first time I had it. They've made leaps and bounds. It depends a lot based on like the staff. We've had conversations about this. You got the fat guy working in there, just leave.
But
Don't even go.
It's true,
for
yeah.
me, the burritos are always good.
Yeah, that's because you order a regular and somehow wind up with something twice the size of mine.
And Ham, you are a shop vac too. I don't think you're too picky when it comes to that stuff.
No,
But I agree with you. I do
No.
think it's an S. I really
So
do.
Ham, you think S?
it is an S.
But like
So-
Mary Brown's, like look how culturally relevant Mary Brown's is. And we're gonna put Casada up here next to it.
Okay, we'll put it solidly
A plus.
A plus.
All right.
What do you think? Grace, you ever had casada?
No. I saw the fish in the steamer tray and I was out.
It's way better than Mustang Sally's, but you know.
Interesting.
Five Guys, I think I'm the only person that feels passionate about this.
E for me.
Oh my god. I don't know if Grace. Have
I
you
ate
ever
in
had
the
it?
Miami airport once.
So their fries are amazing. First of all,
I
like,
seem
really,
to,
really
I
good.
seem to remember
Yeah.
eating their fries, which I don't usually remember eating fries, so that means it made some kind of impact.
And you agreed to me that the fries were amazing
They're
as well,
they're
right?
they're good.
Yeah.
They're good fries, but like A&W with seasoning salt is just as good in my opinion, and so is McDonald's fries. So it's not enough to validate like a good solid position. To me, I had it. It was burnt, which the only one I've ever had that's burnt and does it well is the Whopper.
But I see so many people talk up Five Guys, so I feel like it deserves a bump over.
Well,
DK Lounge.
so many people talk up Shake Shack too, and it's in a solid D position.
I agree with what you're saying there. I used to eat it all the time as the place when I'd go downtown Toronto. Like that's where I'd always go. Five Guys, I loved it, but it is really expensive. It's like $17.50
fortune
for a burger and fries.
Yeah,
which I mean, I can't put it up there in A because as much as I love it, like,
and it's not a B as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I think it's a B.
Oh, I don't think so.
Firm B.
I'd say B minus at the best. That's the most I'm willing to do, just because like the last category is Wendy's, and Wendy's to me is a B. I don't think Five Guys holds up compared to Wendy's. Oh my God,
Five Guys destroys Wendy's.
No.
It's not even close.
No, I don't
so
think so.
put them both in a B.
All right.
If you guys are firmly on either
We put 'em
side
both
of that.
here and
But
walk away?
would you say that a Wendy's is a E or a D?
I would like put it in like a C.
So I would say B. You would say C. You say B for Five Guys. I say E. So overall, the average score is Wendy's comes out
Yeah.
on top. So
I
for
know.
you guys
But-
goes down.
But Ham would probably side more with Five Guys than Wendy's, even
Yeah.
though he
But
hasn't.
Ham
said-
hasn't
I-
tried
He
it.
hasn't. No, but
I haven't tried Five Guys, but I have had Wendy's once in my life, and it's like forgettable to me.
I have to disown you. I have to step.
I
out
don't
of
think
this
I've ever eaten
conversation.
I think we
Wendy's.
keep them both in B. We wash our hands. We walk away from
I
this.
don't know. I agree to disagree on that one.
So-
My math was apparently irrelevant.
All right.
right,
Any
so there we have
great
it.
injustices here? Or can we move on? Or
The only one that I think, aside from the Five Guys discussion,
yeah,
that I'm still sort of on the fence a little bit about would probably be the Chess's one, but I guess we can sort of leave that.
I'm
the
a
way
little
that
bit
it is.
upset about KFC.
Yeah, as well.
All right.
Too, because the poutines are delicious there.
Move it right here.
There you go. Doctor it up a little bit now.
Yeah.
Tidy that up a little bit. Look.
There you go. So he's in the C.
There you go. The Colonel. I mean, it's a good logo.
I mean,
too.
he shot someone dead in the street, so I mean, he's got it. He's got
What?
He's got
What?
gangster points.
I have no idea.
The Colonel straight up killed someone in the streets.
Well, if he's willing to
And-
murder people to expand his restaurant, C.
See, there you go. All right.
C for
All right.
cold-blooded.
There you go.
All right. And with that, we have America's Roast Beef, no thank you, Taco Bell and Old Town Pizzeria in the F tier, Quiznos, Mr. Souvlaki, Domino's, Greco, and Harvey's in the E, New York Fries, Popeyes, and Shake Shack rounding out our D tier, Chesses and Culture straggling behind with a C-, Dairy Queen, Subway, A&W, Smokes Poutine, Mustang Sally's, Pizza Hut, Pizza Delight, and KFC in our bloated C tier, Burger King, Tim Hortons, Five Guys, and Wendy's forming an unholy alliance in B. Chick-fil-A and McDonald's firmly taking their spots in the A tier, with Thai Express, Little Caesars, and Quesada each getting extra credit with an A+. And so,
Mary Brown's is the champion. I'm delighted. I'm delighted.
And I disagree, but that's all right. We'll move on.
Yeah, so my topic, sharp dive from this stuff is, what is the weirdest object you've ever heard of that you would love to see? And it could be weird, it could be scary, it could be whatever. So, I'm going to toss this one over to Ham because I feel like he's going to have a really good answer for this.
To be honest, I don't. I was thinking of like
D for
weird.
devastated.
I was thinking of weird stuff, like in terms of objects.
Mhm.
There's a grave I want to visit
Okay.
Ooh.
in Japan, actually, because I'm a fucking weeb. But it's like it's got the Triforce on it, which is if you've ever played Legend of Zelda and
Mhm.
or had a fucking childhood, you know what that is. But apparently, what it is like it's the Triforce is like a symbol for like an old like political family from like the 13th century. I think they're like Hojo or
Okay.
Ho.
That's good and weird.
And it's like it's just super weird, and like apparently it's used for a lot of things in Japan now. But like I'd like to see those graves just because like I think that'd be cool.
Sweet. That's an excellent answer. All right, Grace, what do you got?
Well, I hadn't thought graves. I'm sure there's tons of graves I would love to see. I love cemeteries. I really do. I really like.
fucked up.
I really like cemeteries.
We stumbled across a cool grave when we were in New York.
Yeah,
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
there
true.
we
Yeah, I
go.
forgot about that.
Yeah, graveyards.
But the one that first came to mind, and I had to try and remember if I'd actually seen it before. It's the Rosetta Stone in the
Okay.
British Museum,
Sure.
because I've been into the British Museum, and actually, when I was leaving the British Museum, I bought this really amazing book called The History of Writing, and it goes through, as you would imagine, the history of writing and looking at, how text has evolved over the centuries, and it was really, really interesting. If I did get to see it, it was in passing. So I would really love the opportunity to
Go back and see
go
that.
back and see it some more. And I mean, in a perfect world, have dictionaries or whatever and go through it in like minute detail. I think that would be really, really interesting.
Interesting.
mine.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is
I'd like
weird.
to see it just for the memes.
And well, yeah, and the Rosetta
Rosetta
Stone too. There's all
Stones.
those language learning programs too that are called Rosetta Stone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
based
right?
off of this.
Yeah.
So what is there any lore behind that store?
So the
Stone or
Rosetta
what?
Stone, it has the same text written on it in 3 different languages. I believe it's ancient Greek, Latin, and I want to say Egyptian, but I'm not positive it's
Okay.
Egyptian.
Cool.
But this stone that they found is the reason that we can understand all 3 of those languages in the modern era, because we didn't have enough documents to be able to fluently read. I think it was any one. I think Latin we were probably fine, but to read these languages, and because you had the same text written there 3 times on the same stone, that was how we were able to have a better understanding of these languages. And so it's just this incredibly important document, and it's insane what it has allowed us to understand.
So that's cool. I think that story makes for an excellent answer.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What about you there, Skipper?
Oh, mine's so historically relevant. I want to go see the elephant's foot in.
Oh, you frigger!
Is that what you
That's
chose?
exactly what I wanted to see
I
in
wanna go-
Chernobyl. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what I was
in-
going to
in
say.
Pripyat, the Ukraine.
Yes.
In Chernobyl, I want to see the elephant's foot.
Yep. So wow, you just stole my answer.
All right,
we
well-
thought you were going to pick Area 51.
Nope. So on April 26th, I think, was the 40-something anniversary of Chernobyl, and I watched
Yep.
a documentary.
Mhm.
And the elephant's foot is essentially the melted remains of the reactor that melted down after the whole explosion in the nuclear reactor.
Yep.
And it combined with like the floor and with the metal bits, and it formed this wrinkled mass of dirt and debris, and apparently it is so radioactive you cannot even be near it for like 5 minutes. It'll kill you. Give
Yeah.
you a lethal dose of radiation. I can't
Sweet.
fucking
How,
believe
how
you-
big is it?
Sweet.
I
It's,
don't
it's
know.
I don't actually don't know how big it is, because it was actually really hard for them to get pictures of it as well.
Yeah, I believe it.
So they had to use like a robotic camera to go in order to get a picture of it. So
And they all like scrambled after the first 2 or 3 minutes. Like the cameras would just, the radiation is so powerful and it'll be radioactive for like millennia. It's crazy.
Wow.
It looks
Yeah.
like a wrinkled elephant's foot. Yeah, that's why they call it that. It's such an interesting
shit.
area. I mean, that exclusion zone is huge. It's like 30 square miles, something like that.
yeah.
And they do organized tours into there. Of course, they don't take you actually down into the reactor, but
No.
they just finished a massive project where they like built this whole like sarcophagus, they call it, and put it over the top of the entire site. It's the largest man-made moving land structure that they've ever created. It's giant, and it's designed to hold in the radiation for up to 100 years before they have to
Wow.
make it again. So yeah, the place is a disaster. I think it's really cool. And that's so weird we have the same answer.
It was funny because that was the first one I thought of just like naturally, like after I understood what the question was. I did do some more Googling and I found like a couple of other ones, but yeah, the elephant's foot.
sounds
That would be my number one probably. I mean, there might be some other spots, but
It's just such a weird thing that you're never going to get to see really unless you got a death wish pretty well.
Mhm.
All right, so cool. Well, that ties that up.
Yeah.
What else do you got? Who's going next?
Mine's another quick one, which probably works out well considering how
Well, considering
important
everything-
fast food was.
yeah.
But mine was, what is something that would come up on a first date that would be a deal breaker? and I'm saying something that would naturally come up on a first date. You know, there could be things that further down the line you find out, but you know, your very first date and you just go, this is not going to work out. Now, Josh and Colton, you said you had the same one, so I'm curious, one of you two go first.
It's not a funny answer. I mean, at this age, I mean, what I would want to know, I don't know if it'd be really a first date question. I'm not somebody who, I haven't had many first dates because most of the people I'm involved with I've known for a while. Mm-hmm. But at some point throughout like a night's festivities, I would assume kids would come up at some point. I mean, I wouldn't ask them, do you want to have kids? Because I don't know. But it would come up at some point if they didn't want to have kids for somebody at this age, like trying to get into another relationship, like, you know, hoping that it will last, go to distance. Mm-hmm. They didn't want kids and they were firm on it. There'd be no point.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yeah. Josh, was that yours too?
Well, after I discerned that she didn't have a face on her like a bucket full of skidoo parts, then yes, I would find a way to pick the snots out of the conversation to figure out, do you want children or not? Because to me, that is a deal breaker 100%. And no, I don't think it's a question you got to come right out and say, I mean, I've been on a couple of dates and I've never once asked that question. It just usually comes up relatively organically via, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm a teacher, for example. The best part of my day is seeing the smile on my kids' faces. No teachers say that, but I'm just saying that, like, that gives you a rough idea of, okay, I don't really need to ask this question because they're answered.
Or talking about a friend's child or like a niece or a nephew.
And at our age too, most people got youngsters in the family somewhere. And, you know, like I said, it's not really a question you have to ask, but if you really didn't know, then that would be the one question I'd want to ask would be, all right, what's the chances of you want youngsters? Because that's going to directly correlate to how we're going to proceed here.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if it was a firm no, not like I never gave it too much thought, maybe I would. Then I would keep going. But if it was like, no, a firm no, like, no, at no point I didn't want kids, never. I mean, it's just a waste of time at this point, I think.
Okay, interesting. Ham, what did you have to say?
Now, for me, the kids thing is like, whatever. Maybe I'll have kids at some point, but for me, it's like if they have any like strong political beliefs, especially if it's like towards the like right hand side of it.
So this is never going to work then, I guess, is it?
Well, I mean, there could be something.
I know you love me. Go on.
You're past the first date by this point, anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, like that would end badly for me. that would end badly for me. Or like if they were like super religious in terms of like they're like super like Christian or Muslim, or it doesn't matter either way, because I'm pretty much atheist, and that they'd probably want to convert me, or like, or I'm going to hell essentially.
So would you want to ask a question like that on a first date, like for the political one? Because would you want to know right off the bat?
Ugh.
What's your stance on, like, how would you ask a question?
That sounds like a nightmare first date for me, talking about politics.
You would figure that out pretty quickly, I think, just by like.
Yeah, I think if anyone is extreme in that kind of thinking, it will come up probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if they got a swastika on their forehead, it's a pretty good indicator. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Or if they're going around calling people like cucks.
Yeah, something like that, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but like that's it for me.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so
did you answer?
No, I haven't answered yet.
Right.
So, probably like my go-to answer would be smoker. I couldn't date a smoker. I think it would be awful. But and that's kind of what I was going to be talking about. But then I actually had a conversation in between pitching this topic and sitting down here that made me realize that this is something that would be an absolute no-go for me, and it's so silly. But it's kind of like how you were saying before, Ham, would I really be a vegetarian if I didn't announce that I was a vegetarian? I could never date someone who lived in a tiny house. I just really think...
Like those YouTube videos?
Yes, I just think I couldn't do it. I really... I couldn't do it. I look at them, and you have to keep them so clean all the time. You have one shirt on the floor, and the whole place is a disaster. And this came up in conversation.
It's not a personality trait.
No, but it's something that would come up. And this came up because I was on a walk the other day, and what sometimes happens in places like particularly warmer climates where living is really, really expensive, oftentimes university students will redo a van and kind of live out of their van and go shower at the university. And like this has become a trend.
Yeah, Wee Man from Jackass now has like this souped up van that he lives in. Yeah.
And the person I was walking with said, if I was living in a warmer climate and housing was that expensive, I could probably do that. And I just thought, no way. No way, that would be such a deal breaker. And so I think anybody who lives in a tiny house is probably going to tell you
like enough
immediately.
On a first date that would just be like, yeah, I'm not going on a second
I don't
date.
think I could
sell
do
the
it.
house.
I don't think I could do it.
You
I
have
really
a house,
don't.
they can move in with you.
I know, and my house is not big, but I don't know. I just
Oh my
something
God.
in me I said no, I could
What
not
else
do
is
it.
tiny?
I got to make an addition to mine
Okay.
on weird alternative lifestyles. I wouldn't be able to date like a super militant vegan because I had a friend that got stabbed with a fork by a vegan.
That's a little bit ironic.
Yeah. So like I wouldn't be able to do that, but if they're nice and vegan, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and like for me as well, like, yeah, of course, the first thing my mind went to other than kids was like movies. If they actually hated movies, like, literally if I talked about them or like if I watched them or anything like that, I don't know if those people exist. But if I found out somehow that they like actually hated everything about them, it'd probably be really hard for me to actually go on like a second date. Maybe if she was like a 10 out of 10,
What about if they said they like Jurassic Park 3 the best?
that wouldn't be a deal breaker. I'd show them the error in their ways, and we'd have to rewatch them. And
You'd have to
point it
re-educate.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
No.
that might be an excuse to create a second date.
It's true.
We need to get together and fix your opinion on this. You need to watch JP1.
Yeah, and even if they hated movies, I'd have to get like into the minutia of like why,
Mhm.
like what happened that made you actually hate them? Because most people, they're either indifferent or like, yeah, they're fine,
Yeah.
But yeah, kids would be the main answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Youngsters, yeah.
There we go. Ham, you're up.
You're gonna love this one.
You're going to love my answer.
So I wanted to get into what superhero in the MCU would best fit your personality. On that note, I guess I'll pass it off to you since you look like you're so ready to go.
Captain Marvel. And the reason I think Captain
Not expecting that.
Captain
Please
Marvel.
explain.
And the reason why is because from everything that I've heard, she's a bit arrogant, very pretty,
Oh yeah, that's
and
true.
always saves the day, and is just overwhelmingly powerful, which I think is a fair description.
You know what? She is the most irritating in terms of just being like, she's so smug and confident in everything she does. She just drives me crazy.
You got
So-
that answer too?
No. Don't worry. My answer is like a bit of an egotistical one as well, but
All right, Hamsey, you like that one or what? Good.
I
Good
enjoyed
answer?
that one. That was a good.
You thought
good
I was going to say
answer.
Thanos because it
yes,
wasn't
I
in the
thought so.
thumbnail.
Because of,
yeah.
yeah.
I thought about it, but I wanted to have something more comical.
I thought you were going to be like Thanos so I could just wipe out half of the universe.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Marvel universe.
Exactly. All right. I didn't have a good answer for it. I was discussing it with Ham on who I should pick, and he said, you would be Iron Man. I said, what?
I kind of thought that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Why?
Well,
Your stubbornness, and just your drive.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is.
Look at Josh over there just
But
shocked.
your desire to like, no, I'm going to make this perfect. Like your perfectionist nature, your stubborn nature.
I don't have the good looks. I don't have the money. I'm not quite a womanizer, but he does, as we just said in the last topic, he did really want kids. And in what he does in his movie, he goes into a cave and he makes something better than the sum of all of its parts.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I hole up. I don't know. I'm not saying it's the greatest stuff I make, but I do hole up and I try and make something better.
Mm-hmm.
He does come off as a leader, which I try to be. He's not always the best person to look up to. There's definitely better people out of the Avengers that you could look up to and be like, they're a better role model. But he's good overall. And he's egotistical. So by saying I want to be Iron Man or I think myself as Iron Man, I kind of fit that a little bit. But Ham, like without hesitation, said Iron Man. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
all right,
I think
well,
so.
all right.
I agree. That's what I was
Interesting.
thinking.
Was that who you were thinking, Josh? Iron Man for me?
I was thinking Black Panther.
What?
Because I'm just boring.
Just because I know he loved that character so much.
Oh yeah, just a boring character. But anyways, Grace, who are you gonna pick?
I thought Bruce Banner, the Hulk, most likely, because my logic behind this was I don't like to get upset.
I don't know. When
But
we dropped down, what one was it on the list? You got a little
Mustang
green.
Sally's.
You got a bit green over there.
But when I do get upset, I get incredibly, incredibly upset. And I don't typically let people see me when I get that upset. But it's one of these things that at war in me, you know what I mean? Something bad happens to me and I get incredibly, incredibly upset. And I really have to relax myself and calm myself. Otherwise it's a meltdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also the academicness, I kind of identify with that. So I figured, I mean, I'm obviously not nearly as intelligent as this fictional character with 7 PhDs or whatever he's got.
You're not bad, but yes, he's like incredibly
Well, yeah,
intelligent,
no,
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a Bruce Banner, but
Yeah.
I think personality wise, probably, a little bit meek and mild kind of gets dragged along sometimes. So I just figured, yeah, maybe that would be me.
That is not who Ham and I said.
Yeah, you said that you guys
Ham and I said
immediately
the
picked one
same
for me.
answer, I think, at the same
Yep.
time. Like
We
when I was
both said
Captain America.
Really? You
Yeah.
think I'm that polite?
Yeah, we were
Yep.
like,
Oh, that's
she's
so nice.
well-mannered, she's polite, she means to do good, she's involved in American politics, It's
Involved
Captain
is a strong word.
Captain America is literally wearing stars and stripes. And I was like, what is Captain America at his core? He's someone out of time. And at some points, some of the things you like, I like to cook and clean. I like to knit. I like to make my own clothes, stuff like that. That's not like a lot of women nowadays don't really exhibit those traits anymore. It is usually like reserved for like grandmas or, I guess people like Grace. So I was like 100%. I was like, Captain
that's
America.
so flattering. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I Captain America has got that selfless quality that I really, really admire. And so, I think that I try to be selfless.
I think you exhibit that quite a bit. too.
But he also has that bravery quality that I am just so lacking.
Well, and plus, the Winter Soldier, I think, was probably the only Marvel movie I really liked. So that's a good pick. That's an excellent pick.
All
All
right.
right. So since everyone finished theirs, I'll get to mine now. So I went with Spider-Man.
I knew it.
And
Spider-Ham.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a great thing, first of all.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I'd necessarily be like the current incarnation, but maybe because he barely has, he doesn't go past high school. So like I'm pretty fucking dumb.
Oh, man.
No, but Spider-Man, he has like a complex where like he's like never good enough. He like always has girl issues, but does well with them somehow.
That little Tom Holland is just so cute.
He's beautiful.
I just want to pinch his cheek.
Fuck that.
what
I'm a
else?
fan of the Double O Spider-Man.
Oh,
Toby
yeah.
Maguire.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so cute. I just want to pinch his cheeks.
Emo
see.
Spider-Man.
Oh, what a
No,
dancer.
there we go. Even more of a reason. But yeah, like I don't know, like he has like confident issues, and like the only time like I really like feel like I'm doing something good is like when I'm doing something artistic, and
And swinging from buildings.
he photographs,
Mhm.
things. That's an artsy quality. He's he runs a dead end job and makes fuck all money.
Pizza delivery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Well,
and
he takes
freelance
pictures
one
for
of
the
those, yeah.
Daily Bugle.
Daily
and
Bugle.
then-
As Miles Morales, he does graffiti and, makes his own stickers. That's
Yeah.
artistic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with Spider-Man for you, though, Ham. And the reason why is because when I think of Spider-Man down to his core, it's like he's quipping all the time. And Ham, I don't know if I've ever heard you quip.
I honestly, I'm more saucy when I'm not around you because you hate quippy humor, and
All right.
I know you do because we had a roommate that made quite a bit of quipping.
Yeah, but there's a difference between good quipping and just bad quipping. But
I mean, not all of Spider-Man's jokes are that great
that's
either.
true. That's true.
And he always has like a running monologue in his head, which I also do.
Hmm.
Which I talk to myself a lot.
So you said Ham definitely wasn't Spider-Man. Who do you think he definitely
So
is then?
he gave
Me. I told him the other day. I was
No.
like, I put you as Hawkeye.
So
Oh man, my mom would be pumped. She loves
she'd be so
Jeremy Renner.
excited. But I mean,
see, the thing is, he's he's pretty. He's a family man, but I'm not. he had that dumb Tokyo scene.
That was
which
wild.
That is why I was like, this is Ham. He's over there in Tokyo kicking ass. Like, you know, that's Ham. He just loved to be in Japan. He's just speaking Japanese and fighting. And also he's a drifter. He's a wanderer. He comes in and out of these movies with no explanation. He's there sometimes. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's there and he has like a romantic relationship or a friendly relationship. Sometimes he doesn't. He just disappears just like Ham. And yeah, I don't know. When I thought about it, I was like, more of a Hawkeye, I think. But I didn't want to say it just because it's mean, because most people hate
I don't know
Hawkeye.
if it's mean.
I don't know. I feel like Hawkeye has like more like drive than
Well,
than
I
I
mean,
do.
he's mind controlled for the whole first Avengers movie. I don't know if there's too much drive there, but
Yeah, I don't know. Like he seems like he's more purposeful, whereas like Spider-Man just seems like he's fucking lost all the time.
I mean,
And he doesn't
yeah, I
he doesn't
understand what you're
really
saying.
have like a strong identity outside of like he puts on a mask and like, you know, pretends to do his thing. And like for me, like that would extend to like music. Music is like the only place where I feel like confidence in at all. So that would be like my alternate persona, I guess. So
all
I
right.
did think about it a little
go.
bit.
All right, yeah.
But I'm definitely not as flexible. And, you know, I'm definitely, you know, I definitely can't do backflips or, you know, climb walls or, you know, any of that shit. No, I think that's it.
Well, I mean,
Just
to be
looking-
fair,
just looking
at
to be
Josh over
fair,
there.
I don't think Josh can fly through space without a spacesuit. And
Yeah.
I know I can't turn green and giant, so.
But the thing is I mean, I just really hope that Endgame means just that, and that's the end of this Marvel stuff, because I'm so dumb.
Whoa.
with
And I
it.
think with 3 Avengers topics in a row,
We're done
I
with
think we're done
Marvel
with it
for a
too,
while.
Thank God.
and
Yeah.
with that, I think we'll end this week's episode. We're your last podcast. And if you like what we're doing here, make sure to subscribe to the podcast feed. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, share us with your friends. It really helps us out. And if you're feeling generous, you can always head on over to patreon.com/yourlastpodcast and help support the show. So with all that out of the way, I'm Colton.
I'm Josh.
I'm Grace.
All
I'm
right.
Ham.
And we'll be back with a new episode next week and every week thereafter until our last. So thank you for listening.
Thank
See you later.
Bye.